Hey, what's up? Doug Cunnington here from Niche Site Project. And man, my voice is shot. We're here for the Q&A today, so welcome. I think probably people are going to be able to hear me real soon. Okay, yeah, for sure. I see that people people are on, and I actually heard my own voice here, so that's good to go. We're getting into it today. So I will be speaking really closely to this microphone, hopefully not making it peak or anything like that. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if it's your first time on. I'm gonna have to turn on the do not disturb. Apparently my phone number has made its way over to some telemarketers. So anybody get those? The telemarketer calls, like the automated like voicemail thing, like it calls you and then it plays a recording, and like all it does is play a recording. If you don't answer, then it'll call you like 2-3 more times that day. I have tried to answer it and just to tell them, hey, don't call me anymore, but it's always a recording, so you can't actually talk to anyone. I don't know how they make any money from this thing because they don't ever answer it. So anyway, it's helping me turn on do not disturb on like every like on my computer, my phone. So I'm harder to reach. but it's much more peaceful. So yeah, I'm getting fancy. I have this, it's the bottom third here going on, and that functionality was always there, and I did it on the first few live streams like a couple years ago that I did, but yeah, I kind of forgot it was here. So we have Damian, we have Dilhan who already asked a question. So yeah, this is just straight up Q&A. So people that had questions the other day, and I didn't answer thoroughly or something like that, you could ask those questions. We got Marcel on, and Gray. We got Duke. What's up? And yeah, a couple other people are getting the telemarketer calls, and yeah, the thing is, I do just block the numbers. So it's kind of insane. Like it takes care of the problem for a few days, and then they start calling again. All right. So first question. This is from Dilhan. Dear Sir Doug, you can just call me Doug. Thanks. Appreciate it though. I bought a domain and hosting for 3 years. When setting up the theme, you imported demo content to the website. Google has indexed all the demo pages. You deleted the demo pages. Okay, cool. But still, when I Google your site, you see 20 results and you're worried it can cause copyright issues to your website. Is there a possibility it'll get penalized due to that reason? No, I would say that's like probably zero. So the only, I mean, it'll be great if you like let Google know that you don't want those pages indexed. So it should catch up, right? And those should like go away. But I think if you go to like the Search Console, like the Google Webmaster Tools, the old name, I think you can let Google know that like those pages are not there anymore. I think you can let them know. But no one cares about the copyright issues on like demo pages because it's like the theme, right? Whoever made the theme, like it's there by default. I'm sure those pages are all over the place. No one's going to claim the copyrights to it because no one gives it, no one cares about the demo pages, right? So don't worry about that. That's the least of your worries. Success roller coaster, what's up? Okay, and we got Marcel says a question about tables. You mentioned I use an HTML editor, not a plugin. You started doing the same. Any advice to streamline the process? Import a spreadsheet or just start from scratch every time? You just start from scratch every time. I mean, how much time is it taking you? Like, why? I mean, I don't have tables on every page, by the way, either. So, I mean, if you want to, you know what? I don't do anything to streamline it. I just create a new one each time. So if you wanted to try a spreadsheet, maybe that could speed it up for you. But I mean, my initial thought is it doesn't really matter. Like, just you don't have to do. Yeah, I don't know. Grace says, "Am I a millionaire?" It's funny you asked. Um, I don't really disclose that. I'm doing okay though. Duke says, oh yeah, Duke was talking about telemarketers. Yeah, telemarketers, they're the worst. And if they would just answer the phone, if it was like a human on the other end, but it's like these robo calls, I think there was a whole like news story on the situation. But and Marcel about my state's no call list. I guess technically not. I've never, you know what? Maybe I should look into it. Thing is, the state that I live in is different than the state where my phone number originated, but I'm sure they account for that. Okay. Success Roller Coaster is making some Amazon sales. That's awesome. 18 sales in 1 month. That is fantastic. Are you using the keyword golden ratio? If so, Success Roller Coaster, please send me an email at doug@nichesiteproject.com. Would love to feature you or, get some more information. Peter, what's up? Victor, awesome to have you on. And Samuel said, first time on, you're from Kenya. Awesome. That's really cool. Thanks for hopping on. Which type of content? Here's Samuel's question. What content types are effective between top 10 reviews or a single product review? They're both effective. They're both fine. It depends on what you're trying to do. And by the way, if it's people's first time on, or it's the first time you've seen me, first time you heard my voice or something, I don't normally talk like this. I have a cold. Dami says, how's Jim Sites doing? It's been a while. So I haven't talked to him in a few weeks, tried to get in touch with him, but I haven't heard from him, which he lives like down the road, and I haven't seen him at the coffee shop either. But over the summer, I know it was doing pretty well. I think it hit like $600 a month or so. It is on kind of the seasonal front, so I think it took a bit of a dip and stuff, but like afterwards, I think everyone had a bit of a dip after the summer. Anecdotally talking to my friends and stuff, but yeah, I'm looking to hopefully get an update from Jim here before too long. Let's see. Wyoming says, when do you actually publish your website? Well, can you rephrase that? I'm not really sure what you mean, although I was talking to my friend Dom the other day. I interviewed him. Everybody know Dom Wells from Human Proof Designs? Let me know in the chat. Just say, yeah, we know Dom, or if you don't know, check it out. So as a friend of mine, I've known him for a few years. We've worked together in various capacities. I bet some people on here like actually know or actually found me through Dom and stuff. But anyway, I was talking to him yesterday, and I kind of lost my train of thought. It's the cold, but basically, when should you publish your website? As soon as possible. Like whatever you're thinking of doing, like do it as soon as possible. Okay. Barry Kiva says, how much competition is too much competition? So that's one of those questions that it's really hard to answer. So it depends on your experience level, I think. So if you're very experienced, right? If you're a Rob Atkinson type, right? If you've done this for a few years, you're doing really well. You're like networking with people, and you have like I guess like, what word am I looking for? You have like a strong network where you can like ask for help for certain people that are good at certain things. Then, like you can compete with the best in the world. But if you're just starting and you're like kind of nervous about the competition, then you're probably right. It's probably too much competition. That said, there's some value in like being naive, right? And not knowing that you shouldn't compete because maybe, right? Maybe you can overtake a bigger site. Gray says, you saw a site making 30K a month with only 11 articles. Interesting. I'm going to call this person KS because there's a lot of letters in there. I'm not sure how they fit together. Is there any problem if I use Amazon user reviews on a product review? Yes. Yeah. There is a problem with that. You can't do that. There's a copyright issue with that, and Amazon doesn't allow you to do it. It violates the terms of service. Marcel, okay, just recap on the tables. Yeah, so Marcel was just curious if there was a better process. Victor says I use Google Chrome, and all entitled results vary when you're logged in and when you use incognito. Have I experienced it as well? Which one should I trust? I haven't checked that. I would just pick one and stick with that. The interesting thing with like the keyword search volumes, like whatever tool you use is using like a slightly different method. They're all estimates also. So keep that in mind. They're all estimates. Even if you had like Google data, like those are averages and estimates as well. So as far as, is it normal? I don't know. I've never checked at that level, but if you just pick a method and then stick with the method, then you'll end up with consistent results as far as like how they compare to one another. So relatively, you'll have an idea what's more competitive and what's not. Dennis, what's up? Good to have you on. Anthony says, can running Facebook ads speed up Google rankings? You've run ads, inflated traffic to 2,500 visitors a day. Well, I could tell you that you already have more experience doing that than me. So how are the rankings? It sounds like if you're asking that it doesn't work and it isn't speeding it up, but you tell me because I've never done that before. Matthew says, you're ranking #1 for 6 terms using the KGR, even when the search volume is 250 or less. The variations of spelling and the way people search for the same things mean you get 1,200 hits per month. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, Matthew. So I remember like, you were taking action, you were doing stuff. Most people tell me that they don't believe that it works. So most of my time is spent just trying to convince people to try it. But yeah, once you get to the 2.0 version, you end up with like way more traffic than you expect. Some of them don't work, right? Some of them work fantastically well. Marcel says, you bought a few sites from Dom when you started. Cool. Dennis, you met Dom in Vancouver. That's cool. Leo, good to have you on. Happy Friday as well. Cool. And several people found me through Dom's podcast. Yeah, I think it was on like 4 times or so, something like that. And Matthew is telling us his site has been up for 3 months. The first month was $7. November was $38. And December was $69. And by the way, Matthew, you're not a student, right? You just watched free content and took action, right? Pretty sure you never enrolled or anything like that. Which I want to point out, like, the course is great, right? I'm going to tell you the 5-figure niche site course is great, but I mean, truly, when people say, hey, I can't afford it, like, can you give it to me for free? The answer to that is no, but it's all up to you. The information's there. I give more support, of course, to the students. And there's a lot, I mean, it's placed in a very deliberate way. It's all organized in a very deliberate way. But I mean, really, one could sort of reverse engineer what's going on just with all the free content. Polly says, sorry if someone asked, no worries. Do I use the Google Search Console? How important is it? Should it be configured right from the start before publishing? I do use it. I don't go too deep, but I do register it just so I have like some insight into like the information that Google provides via the Search Console. And you don't have to configure it before you start publishing, but I would say like within the first, week or so, go ahead, register it. You have the opportunity to like fetch your pages, fetch your URLs and index them. So if you make some changes, you could index them right away. Good question. Aaron says, what's the best way to set up taxes for multiple niche sites? Should I set up a separate LLC or just make one for all? Totally up to you. Most people do just have like one LLC and then have like all the sites underneath. However, if you are if you're advanced, if you have several sites that are making a lot of money and you need to keep things like siloed. So I have a friend and she has like a separate LLC for each one of the sites. So if there's some issue with one site, then it's not a problem. It doesn't impact any of the other sites. That of course is like more it's more business overhead, right? So you have to file those taxes, right? It's not necessarily trivial. So you'd have to have an LLC and then perhaps like a parent LLC over it or corporation or whatever you want to have, depending on your state. But talk to a lawyer, right? So Aaron, if you're making a lot of money, it's probably a good idea. But if you're making like if you have like, well, yeah, it's totally up to you. Talk to a lawyer and an accountant. All right. Matt. Cool. And then let's see. Peter says, when doing a guest post, is there a best place to put the backlink to your website? To the review site or homepage? Or you mean the review page or homepage? And do I put these into an additional author bio? I recommend you put it in the content, and I recommend most of your links go to the review, the specific URL that you're trying to rank. Maybe like 20% to the homepage, up to maybe like 40%, depending on what you want to do. I prefer not to have them in the author bio. I want to have them in the content. Sinfa says, you watch one of the keyword golden ratio videos. You wanted to ask if you should use the exact keyword for the title and nothing else. You don't have to be that strict. You could put like other words in with the title, but the best practice is actually it doesn't matter. You could do either one. It doesn't matter. In the URL, should you have all the full keyword in the URL? Again, it doesn't really matter. You could take out the stop words. A lot of people ask about that. They get all worked up about the stop words and what Yoast wants, but just it doesn't really matter. And Matthew, what do you do? Matthew Brilliance, what do you do? Did you put the full keyword in there? What about the URL? All right. Embracing Wellness says, use the Amazon API. Is it okay to use a product image and modify it? I want my post featured image to show a few products side by side. You know what? I don't know, but I have a feeling that you probably shouldn't. Okay. Polly says, how do you rank a particular post? Let's say a keyword within 720 to 2500. What should I do to improve a rank? To what? Basically, how do you rank it? You need backlinks, basically. You'll have to put backlinks via guest post. And, assuming your content's good, you want your content, if it's in that range, you're going to want it to be, 2,000 to like 8,000 words or something, depending on the competition. You'll also want to have, several images, at least one video. You want to have subheadings, a well-rounded article. All right, Matthew says, when will the course be available again? Matthew, January. It'll be mid-January. So, and you said you didn't have the cash for the premium, and now you do. Sweet. It'll be good to have you on, Matthew. Sounds like you're doing pretty well. Scott says that you like the title bar. Awesome. Thank you. Green Engineer says, oh, hold on a second here. I see we have a troll in here. Hold on. One sec, folks. That's the thing with the chat. I have to, let's see. Cool. Okay. Yeah, it's a little hard to monitor this baby. All right. Green Engineer says there are many keyword golden ratios for any given seed keyword. How do you choose? How many do you choose from them? Um, choose as many as you can. That's what I do. I choose as many as I can, and then if there's some that are like so close to one another, they're like basically duplicate, i.e., the same visitor would try and uh, search for it, like the same type of visitor, then I will combine them. But other than that, whatever your budget affords you. So, okay. And Matthew says, yeah, some KGRs don't work. Just, supporting what I was saying. So some, I think like probably about 70% or so, like land in the middle, right? They rank in the top 20 or 15 or so, something like that. And then there's like, I got to remember the percentages I'm giving. Anyway, there's a small number, right? A couple will do really well and a couple will never rank. So Victor says, but it varies significantly. The all in title results when you're logged in are like 90, but 700 in incognito. So that's why you're confused. Oh, that would confuse me too. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. Not sure. Dami says, have I ever thought of becoming a digital nomad? No, no, not really. I mean, I am location independent, but when I had my corporate job, I actually did like a slow travel. And Dami, I'm not sure, like, I've talked about certain things in different places and different podcasts and interviews. But I was going to say, like, my wife and I worked remotely for years. So we were location independent. And our old dog, our late dog Brody, like he couldn't fly in an airplane, right? He was like a 55 pound dog. So generally, you can't fly with a dog like that. So we were like, oh, we'll drive everywhere. So we basically stayed in the continental US, and we would like, we had good jobs. So we'd go like rent a house, hang out somewhere. We went to Denver a couple times, visited family in Fort Wayne. We went on like vacations where it was like mostly road trip, and we would like vacation for part of it. And then I would work like 4 hours a day or something like that, take Fridays off, that sort of thing. We went to Austin. Again, we would just like rent a house, hang out. So it was cool doing that. And it may be cool to like get back into it. I mean, we did it for a few years, and now we've sort of like chilled in this Bozeman, Montana area for a little while because there's like so much to see here, right? Like we could drive down to Yellowstone in like an hour and a half. Um, and like Jackson Hole, the Grand Teton National Park, is like on the other side of Yellowstone. So it's a few hours away. Anyway, it's pretty cool around here. So we didn't really feel the need to travel much. Although, you know, after going back and forth, right now it's like, oh, maybe it would be cool to travel a bit. But yeah, digital nomad, not really interested. And Tom says you saw me with Alex WP Eagle. Yeah, cool. Appreciate you coming over from there. And Success Roller Coaster is asking about the tag manager. No, I haven't worked with the tag manager. And all right. So Anthony says, just got started. After a week, articles are still buried in Google. 150 in Facebook ads equaled 500 in sales, which is about $30 in commission. Technically a loss, but you hope that it was going to expedite the ranking. Yeah. I don't think you have a viable route unless you're doing retargeting and like you really actually have some data. So I don't do much with Facebook ads with affiliate stuff because I mean the commissions aren't enough to cover your cost unless you're retargeting and you actually like have some data. So Green Engineer says, what type of call to action do I use? A button or a hyperlink within the text? I usually do like a hyperlink within the text, but sometimes I have it on images. Sometimes it's on buttons, but usually text. And it's a practical matter. I mean, I think it converts well for me because I have a strong call to action, but at the same time, it's like, um, if I if I have my content manager or editor like create the button, that's like a training issue. But if it's just a hyperlink, then it's like anyone can create a hyperlink if they know how to use WordPress. So the button could be slightly more complicated. And yeah, sure, there are tools and plugins to make buttons, but I hate all of those things. All right. Green Engineer says, what is my conversion rate? Site visitor to buyer, not the one on the Amazon dashboard. If I remember right, I think it's like 1 or 1.5% or something like that. And you know what? The other day I showed this graphic just because I haven't been writing as much on the blog, and I need to. I need to, but I've been busier than I expected, which is my own fault. And then we also, when we adopted our new dog, Georgie, I'm walking her like hours a day. And then when I'm not outside walking her, I'm also, hanging out with her, spending time with her and training her and stuff like that. So the thing is, I'm just busier than I thought it was going to be. Anyway, the reason why I'm saying that is the other day on one of these live streams, I shared just some earnings information because like there's a lot of people on YouTube that are actually, if you just search for like Amazon affiliate stuff on YouTube, most of the people that you will find don't actually make much money from YouTube. So this is like from this month, from like a few days ago, where I like quietly crossed over 10,000 for the month. Of course, it's December, right? It's like the height of the retail season and all that, but still, that's a lot of money. And I think it's important to make sure you're getting information from people that know what they're talking about. So just wanted to add a little credibility, just not to brag or anything, but yeah, I know what I'm talking about. All right, cool. And I didn't point it out, but the conversion rate there is 14.78%, which is high. All right. Matthew. Okay. And then, oh, yeah. And Dennis is mentioning, yeah, if I answered any of your questions, actually, we have quite a few people on. And yeah, if I answered your question, could you hit the thumbs up just in support of hoping to get more views here? I am trying to grow the channel and everything. In fact, I have like a cool new interview over on a friend's channel, which I'll have to hunt for the link in a second. Wyoming says, is it possible to, I missed a question too, but Wyoming says, is it possible to outrank sites to write really long articles, but the articles aren't high quality? Yeah, just get more links than them and have better content. Anything's possible. Aaron says, what's the best CTR click-through rate to add on your site? I think you mean CTA, which is is the call to action. I don't know, like check the price on Amazon or see product on Amazon, something like that. There's no best call to action. It depends on your site. If you're really interested, you have to do like A/B testing and a bunch of work. But yeah, just something on Amazon usually works pretty well. All right. Embracing Wellness says you have SSL for your website and it's showing secure in your regular browser, but on incognito, it's not showing as secure. I have no idea. Check with your hosting company. Aaron says the best call to action buttons get people to click. Also, what's the best button color from your experience? I know you could test things, but from Amazon. So Aaron, here's the secret. It doesn't matter. Just if you get the right traffic on there, like they'll want to go to Amazon. And I don't know, the best button color. You should be doing things that like really make a difference in your like traffic and your rankings and stuff like that. If you're changing the color of your button, you're getting like incremental gains. Um, so if you wanted to like, and you're saying, you could test things, but for Amazon, I don't know. I've never tested it. I have no idea. But you know, if you're curious, you could test on your own. It will vary per site, per niche, and all that stuff. Anthony says, what instructions do you give new article writers for your affiliate sites? How do you train them to write content that you need? So I have a whole like webinar on this. Let me see if I could find the link for you. What's the best way? Yeah, I have a whole webinar series coming up where I'm doing this awesome stuff. I talk about creating content and SEO and hiring and scaling writers or scaling content and hiring writers. And this, in fact, is that one. I'm doing a couple on just like SEO for niche sites. Boom. But this is the one on hiring where I talk about that kind of stuff. Now, here's the thing. You'll need to like copy that link. If you click it, I think it's screwed up. So there's only so much I can. Oh, I may be able to put it in I'll put it in the description of the video. I should just have them all on cue where I could just put them in easily. So if you click the link in the link, sorry folks, this is it's hard to like find links and questions and then make sure that it's all right. Okay. So in the description, there's a link. So your question is, what instructions do you give? So basically, you need to tell them like how you want the article formatted. You need to tell them the tone and how do you train them to write the content. They should already know how to write. So if you just give them guidelines, they should be good to go. Oh, I meant to get cough drops, but I forgot. They're in the other room. Rash says, I may have to step away and get cough drops. Sorry, folks. Or I'm going to choke to death here. I'll be right back. All right. Ask some more questions. So when I get back, I have a bunch of them. I'll be right back. Hey, Georgie. Yeah, you're alone. Good girl. Good girl. All right. I'm back. All right. What question was I on? Okay, Rash asked, how does the training program work? Is it passive? Is it passive? Meaning you send out step-by-step instructions via email for a number of days? No. It's like a premium video course. There's worksheets. It's quite intense. It is not passive by any stretch. It is fully active. And there are 8 sessions, like Q&A live sessions where I go over material, then answer questions for the course. And then that's like the advanced level. The premium level has one-on-one coaching as a component of that. All right. Victor says, your second time and you like me already. Thanks. It must be the voice, huh? This is pretty good. I'll have to start doing this more often. I think I usually talk too loud. If I just get closer to the mic, it sounds like NPR, but then my face is touching it. So that's weird. Okay. Tom says, what's a good way to find your niche product? Tom, just hop over to Amazon and start browsing. And some people did hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Scott says, have I thought of adding a mastermind live chat, say with 2 or 3 other people? Scott, what do you mean exactly? That is an interesting idea. Just with like me and some of my buddies, just like talking, where we all answer questions. Tom says, what do I think about Jungle Scout? I don't use it for anything. Some people say it's good. I think it's more for like Amazon FBA, people that are interested in FBA. It's not really useful for me personally. Victor says A/B testing is tough for new sites. It requires thousands of visitors. Yep. And usually it's not very, like, generally, unless you have like thousands of visitors, you're just wasting your time. And if you don't have time to actually like do the split test and like take action, keep iterating, then yeah, not super helpful. Green Engineer says, how do you use Amazon images legally? Use a site Stripe or the Amazon, or a tool that uses the Amazon API. Victor says, what's the next best alternative to hiring a freelance writer on Upwork for outsourcing content? Well, write it yourself. That's what I would do. Sinfa says, have I changed themes or forwarded domains before? Does it affect your rankings, and what do you have to do to reduce it? I've changed themes before. I've heard it can affect your rankings, but it's never impacted me. Hey, you all right, girl? Sorry, my dog was making some noise. And then as far as like forwarding domains, I'm not really sure. You mean like 301ing? I'm not really sure. Dami says, on my site, what pronouns do you use? First, second, or third? Usually first person. Victor says, just answering about the site or the images. Yeah, just use the site Stripe or a tool that uses the Amazon API. Wyoming says, should you ever write your own content or should you outsource it all? Totally up to you. You could write it all yourself or outsource it. There's no right or wrong way. Green Engineer is saying you want to cloak the affiliate link. You shouldn't do that. I'm not sure why you want to cloak the affiliate link. You should not do that. Hey, George. Yeah, you shouldn't cloak the affiliate link. And Embracing Wellness says the video quality is good. Awesome. This is just it's just my MacBook Pro camera. Yeah, so that's it. It's just I think it only does 720p, but I do have a good connection here. Rob says, good work, thanks. Have I seen any impact from the December 12th Google update? I didn't know there was an update, so no. Tom says, any good use for camel? I don't know what that is. Victor says, you're writing content, but it's tough to scale along with a day job. What do you need to scale? Victor says, cloaking Amazon links is a violation of the terms of service. That is true. Yeah, Marcel says, about Jungle Scout, it's mostly useful for FBA. It doesn't really apply for niche sites. All right, it looks like I made it to the end of the questions. Unless there are more. Are there more questions out there? We do have quite a few people on here, I think. Yeah, like 42. Wow, this is pretty good. All right. Super Vitalica says you love the YouTube videos. Thank you. Would I recommend linking blog comments to inner pages, to the homepage, or a mix? So have you seen my video on blog commenting with Comment Love? Because check that out. What you shouldn't do, you should just link, if you're putting in the website name, just put in your main domain, right? If you put an inner page, a specific URL in there, it'll probably be rejected. I reject all of those because it looks spammy. But check out Comment Love. Watch my video on that. Victor says, does resource page link building still work? Yeah, anything still works. And Victor, you said you sent 800 emails and got 2 backlinks. Is that within an acceptable range? I don't know. I don't do it because of what you just said. Like, I get a lot of emails. I get emails from people that are like, hey, it's a great resource. Read my article. Are you interested? Do you want me to send you a link? And I get a lot of emails. Everyone gets a lot of emails. What I don't want to do is get a request from someone and send an email and then end up with more work, like adding a link to a resource page. So yeah, I would say 2 out of 800 is not that great, but it worked. You got 2 links out of it. So you tell me, how good were the links? All right. Sinfa says, do you have any videos on best of reviews or informative articles? Sorta. I have like a series, a whole playlist of videos. It's like just examples of Amazon affiliate sites, and I tear them down. Tell you what I think. Check out those. I think those are pretty good. Rash says, does the course help people looking to enter the fashion and lifestyle niche? It's really only for if you're building an Amazon affiliate site. That's what the course is for. So if you're just trying to start a blog or sell other types of products, it's not going to be as applicable. So Amazon affiliate is really what it's geared towards. Kidsloo says, have I ever gotten banned or warned from Amazon? No, luckily I have not. Green Engineer says, will Google consider your site a spam if it has many affiliate links? Yeah. Like I don't like the phrasing of the question. So I struggle with the questions sometimes because like the semantics, like the words matter, right? The words matter. If you have too many affiliate links, it's not a good thing. I'll generalize it. Super Vitalica says, you did watch the Comment Love video and commenting, but what do you do when you don't use Comment Love? Just link to the main domain. Otherwise, it won't get approved. Nick, what's up? Good to have you on. Dami says, what are some entrepreneurship podcasts that I listen to? I listen to the Tim Ferriss podcast, Tropical MBA, and I've trimmed out a lot of the other podcasts that I listen to. So that's about it. Victor says, for the folks like me who are new to affiliate marketing, it's difficult to figure out what's old or still working. Yeah, totally true. Actually, when I got started in 2013, I was studying stuff from Pat Flynn from Smart Passive Income. That was sort of the gateway for me. And yeah, his stuff was old. When I caught it, I didn't realize how old it was. And eventually that got like those strategies got me penalized from good old Pat Flynn, even like, he's a white hat guy now. And, that's just what people were doing back in the day. We didn't know it was wrong. We were just following what our mentors were telling us and all those podcasts and all that stuff. So, all right. Scott says, check out 10K on the Bay. He does a weekly reseller mastermind. You learned a ton of random stuff that you wouldn't find elsewhere. Okay, interesting. It's like eBay. Okay, eBay, but related in the format works. All right, interesting. Do I use security plugins in WordPress? Yeah, I do. So I use a couple things, but I use like Jetpack tools. There's one that like prevents like brute force. Jetpack is like a plugin, like a suite of plugins by Automatic. Automatic makes WordPress. It's the parent company. They do a pretty good job. Tom says, what do I use for webinars? I use Webinar Jam. Victor says, you have almost the same results for scholarship link building. You sent out a couple of 100 emails almost with the same result. So let me ask you this, Victor. Did you send out like 800 emails for the resource building and then 800 emails for the scholarship? Or did you say, send out, I don't know, 30 emails and see what happened, see like what kind of responses you got? And then maybe you adjust the subject line and you send 30 more. And then instead of blowing the whole, I had a friend who did this. He was like, hey, I'm going to do scholarship outreach. I had a VA do research. I have 800 emails and I sent them all in like a day and a half. Well, number one, your email address is going to get flagged, right? So deliverability is going to go down. And then if you're not testing your subject lines and the copy and the content, you don't have an opportunity to improve. You just burned your list of 800 or whatever, and you didn't even like learn from mistakes that you made. So just checking. The key is to like do things in an incremental way so you could like learn as you're going. Marion says, any experience with SEMrush? Yeah, lots of it. Is it worth the cost, or can Keyword Keg do that job? Keyword Keg cannot do that job. SEMrush is fantastic for like keyword research as far as like finding what keywords certain sites rank for. They're not comparable. Kaya says, you checked what username they were trying, and they were using admin, administrator. What's my comment on that? So I use a plugin. I forget the name of it, but basically it changes your login page. So you can change your login page to not login.php or whatever. Like if you change it, then they don't know what URL to go to even try to hack your site. So I recommend that one. Anybody remember the name of that one? I forget, but I use it on my site. So yeah, that's what I recommend. But other than that, I don't know. All right. So Rob says, what do I think of buying guest post links on a big authority site? You use some, but you didn't see any hike. Well, how long did you give it? Buying links could be a little risky, but now that everyone's like doing outreach, a lot of bloggers, if you don't have a relationship with them, they'll just ask you to pay. I mean, that's what happens if you don't have a relationship with them. That's why the blog commenting is so important. All right. Anthony says, do I recommend using Woo to import affiliate links? No, I don't. I think I don't use Woo for anything, never have. You don't need it. It's a waste of time, I think. Sinfa says, if I didn't build links for a site for over a year and then start building them again, would it seem unnatural and get flagged by Google? I doubt it. I think that's fine. Best Cookbook says, hi, how to get first sale on Amazon niche website. Do good keyword research. Here's the 3 steps. Do good keyword research, publish good content, get backlinks. It works 100% of the time. All right. Charles, what's up? If you're new to affiliate sites, cool. Glad to have you on. You've had a site up for 2 months and you made 150 pounds this month. You're pretty happy. You're looking forward. Awesome. That's fantastic. Did you use the keyword golden ratio, Charles? Tom says, is it okay to go with MailChimp or Aweber from the start? It doesn't matter. You could use whatever you want. They're all pretty comparable. I would honestly, like if I was starting fresh, I'm using Aweber right now. But if I was starting brand new, I would probably go with like Drip. In fact, I tried to migrate over to Drip, but they screwed up. And they messed up my migration. Funny enough, I was like dragging my feet. By the way, I think there's a lot of IT people that tend to follow me because that's kind of my background too. So whenever you migrate to a new tool, bad things happen. Like nothing goes as planned. There's trade-offs. Like just the fact that you're going to transfer it over, like stuff's going to go wrong. And here's the thing. Like even though the functionality is much better at Drip than Aweber, making the switch is so painful that even like it has to be like exponentially better. Like the tool that you're moving to has to be so much better than the one you're coming from, because the cost, not necessarily the monetary cost, but the cost of switching and migrating to a new tool is very high. I mean, and we're not talking like training or anything like that. It's just moving the data over from one place to another. It is terrible. So anyway, they were supposed to handle everything, but funny enough, they were migrating from one mail server to another and they missed my emails. So like weeks went by, they didn't do anything. They did nothing and I already paid them money. And by the way, I actually met people at the company. I went to the Converted conference and I'll probably go again. It was a good conference. But the funny thing is, I even like, I have a video on the channel. I like met the CEO of the company, like the new CEO, was having drinks with him and talked to him for like 20 minutes. It's one of the reasons why I was like, you know what? I will try and switch over to Drip, but they totally dropped the ball. So I just said, give me my money back. I like the functionality isn't that much better. So anyway, the question is, should you go with MailChimp or Aweber? It doesn't matter. Okay. Charles says you didn't use a keyword golden ratio, but you did a lot of keyword research. Cool. Congratulations. Matt Mullen says, should each Amazon link be no follow? Technically, Google likes it if they're no follow, but it turns out Google understands that, Amazon links are affiliate links. So it's not going to be like a issue from an SEO standpoint. Tom says, you heard that Aweber is much better for this type of thing. Not necessarily. I mean, they're getting more functionality, but Aweber is kind of like a dinosaur in the email market. I mean, it was in the 4-hour work week, like from 10 years ago. So the thing is, like, they're adding functionality, but they're like patching on additional functionality to the legacy systems. So if you go to a company like Drip, they built it as an email marketing platform with like just better tagging, better decision points. And there are several companies, GetResponse, ActiveCampaign, they're all comparable. They're all about the same price. too. I mean, they're pretty much the same price. All right. Shubham says, how much time does it take to get organic traffic from Google? As little as 4 days or so, like a week or whatever, or as long as never. So if you use a keyword golden ratio, you'll get some traffic. But, if you're getting backlinks and stuff like that, or you have good content, backlinks and good content, you'll probably get traffic sooner. All right. So Rob says you have a site that has 40 articles and gets 4 to 500 page views a day, and you're planning to upscale. Any tips? Can you be more specific? What kind of tips do you want? Victor says you have an article that's like best X under Y dollars, ranking number 3. You publish a new post, which was best X for the money, but your first post is ranking on page 2 for best X for the money keyword. And the new post is ranking 100. So I would say let it sit, see what happens, let it play out for about 2 months, see how it settles out. Once you see which one's ranking higher, combine the articles, remove duplicate like intros or whatever, but combine the articles, and then 301 redirect the one that you're getting rid of that isn't ranking as well. Brown Dog says there are some websites that will offer one backlink or an opportunity to earn one from the advertisements placed on the guest post. These are not niche specific. They make money from ads. Are these recommended for guest posts? No. I mean, if you want to try them out, go for it, But that's not really a guest post. That's like a paid link placement, technically against terms of service. But, if you want to try it, give it a try. Now, if you want to add that to like a guest posting campaign in which you're doing blog commenting and guest posting, sure, the diversity could be nice. But if you're looking for a shortcut, it's probably the wrong way to do it. Tom says, do I use Google Analytics? Yeah, I sure do. Matt says, is there a reason to fetch as Google more than once if you make a change? Yes. And I only do it if I'm in a hurry to, like, if I made a change to a post and then I want to see like the change happen. And then Marcel mentions for security that you change the login page. Oh yeah, and someone, by the way, thanks whoever posted. It's a Lockdown Admin. Lockdown Admin plugin is the one where you could change the login page, which is very helpful. All right, sorry about the cough. Charles says, I'm going to start another site and you'll use a keyword golden ratio, but you have to watch her video again. Before you watch the video again, don't start another site. Why don't you just like focus your effort on the site that's already doing well, man? Don't waste your time starting another site. So Rob says, how much articles should you publish in the time frame? Well, it's one of those deals. Rob, you're probably limited by either time or money. So figure out which one your limiting factor is and publish as many articles as you can, as fast as you can, right? There's no reason to go slow. So, yeah, I published like 200 articles in like 6 weeks or so a little while back. I'll let you know how it turns out. Scott says, wondering what software you use for video creation. I use ScreenFlow. I have a Mac, and I haven't used Windows since I got laid off. And I've been using Macs personally for like a decade, I guess. All right, Victor, you've asked too many questions. No, man, this is what these are here for. All right, what other questions do we have? And yeah, Nick says scaling up is the name of the game. Yeah, it's and you don't have to be in a hurry either. I mean, if you're asking me if you want to scale up, like do it as fast as you can, but you're limited by if you have to build a team, right? If you have to build a team, you should check out the webinar that I posted earlier in the description. Like, you don't want to try and build a team with like 8 people right away, or even 3 people right away. It'll be overwhelming. You won't be able to handle it unless you know how to like build and manage a team. So you have to take it step by step. Brown Dog says, since affiliate marketing is not fetching much money, you were thinking of experimenting by putting one Google ad. What's the best place to put it? I don't know. So here's the deal also. There's no best place to put it. It's probably like near the top, right? Because more people will see it. But if you're not making money with affiliate marketing, you're probably not going to be able to like make money by putting ads up. Like, why do you think that's going to work better? It's just, you're probably getting the wrong kind of traffic. If you're not getting much traffic, it's not going to matter if you have an ad up. Sinfus says, what themes do I use nowadays? Your theme doesn't matter. I don't use Thrive, though. I'll tell you that. Just go with whatever theme you have. There's a couple like free ones by Automatic that are cool, Marcel is asking about posting so many articles in a short time. Do I care that if you get some comment love to each post or not, or is it a big deal? No, I don't care. It's not a big deal. But if you wanted to, you could just change the dates on the post, and then it'll be at the top of the queue for the RSS. Sarab says, yeah, you need an editor. Yeah, you should get an editor and a content manager, or a content manager, rather. Brown Dog says, is there any other network? No, I don't know much about ad stuff, so I don't know. Sorry, I can't help Brown Dog. Sinfa says, is the link working? Sinfa, be sure you use the link in the description. I think that should work. And by the way, like, if you sign up for the webinar, be sure you hit the auto subscribe, and then I can automatically subscribe you for the other webinars. There are several. They're happening on Thursday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time over the next several weeks. And pretty cool. We have 36 likes, which is pretty good. So a lot of people did click the like button. Appreciate it. Charles says, how many sites do I have? About 3, but I'm only focusing on like one at a time. Scott says, does anyone use Arvada? Sinfa says you're using Thrive at the moment and you saw the video where I said it's bloated. Yeah, see, the thing is, like, Thrive has so many options. So I do use Thrive for like landing pages and sales pages, but that's because I had that from the beginning, right? I had a really tough time with their customer service and support, or not the customer service, the support. It was very slow. anytime I had a problem, they basically said, "Oh, just turn off all the plugins." If you're like running, I don't know, say a membership site and an affiliate, um, like, and if you're using the other plugins, right, you can't just turn them off. That's not a solution. But that's kind of their like default. Just turn off all the plugins. Oh, there's a conflict. Can't use that one. Sorry. Um, let's see. Tom says something about answer the public. Any good for getting some insights? I don't know what that is. Or you know what? Maybe I've heard of that. I've never used it. But sure, if you think it could be helpful, take a look. Brown Dog says, what kind of qualifications do I look for in a content writer when I outsource? Native English speaker, and that they submit a good proposal and answer all the questions I asked in the job posting. Thomas Tran says, on the 200 articles, do I schedule them weekly? I publish them as fast as I can, basically. I'll publish like 20 a day or whatever. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. I've done it a few times and no ill effects. Duke says, don't get me started about Thrive. Yeah, that's right. Nick mentions if you look at Run and Repeat, it's a 500,000 visitor per month site that has a ridiculously simple theme. If you focus on the look and theme of your site, it's probably one of the last things you should do. Yeah. Just keep it simple. You just want the content to stand out. John says, regarding information articles, what's my opinion on linking out to Amazon? Or do you prefer to link to internal product review pages? I think it's fine to put product affiliate links in your info articles. After you're in the affiliate, the Amazon Associate Program, after you're already in, I think it's totally fine. Before you're in, it's probably good to not have too much advertising content. And Sarab says, what is my thought on ClickBank or ShareASale products on a niche site? I think you should test. If you think it's a good, viable thing, you should test. I think a lot of times, for me, I don't have much in the way of ClickBank or ShareASale, but the reason why is like Amazon converts so much better. So even if you get paid like a 75% commission from the ClickBank product, you're only selling like a small fraction of what you would in Amazon. And Brown Dog, you like the video. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah. And I guess I don't remind enough. So yeah, if I answered any of your questions, just hit the thumbs up. And for people like Victor who asked a lot of questions and I'm just super helpful. It'd be cool if you went to my other videos and liked them too. That'd be great. And Aaron said, you just had a bad experience with Thrive. Don't buy. The people who are recommending it get a good commission rate. That's what I'm telling people, Aaron. Yeah. For everything, man. Like there's all these people recommending all these products and they're like old roommates with the founder of the company. It's just like, what is going on? It's so ridiculous. All right. Tom says, you have a product in mind. Is keyword research the next step or something else? Yeah. You got to do keyword research, make sure people are searching for it, make sure they're like buyers keywords and stuff like that. And Charles, thanks for liking it. Success Roller Coaster asked about Commission Junction. No, I think there may be like one product that I have on maybe like niche site project, but no, I don't really use Commission Junction either. Victor Moody says Thrive equals Bluehost. Perhaps I've had more issues with Bluehost recently than I had in the past. It's not cool. The support is just not as good as it used to be. Wyoming says, what's the length of articles you write when you write so many at a time? For me, it's about 1,000 words each. However, it's all about the team. It's, like Nick said before, it's the scaling, right? So I'm not writing any of them. I'm not formatting. I'm not moving the draft over to WordPress. I'm not doing any of that stuff. But I do have, or at the time, right? I've moved people around, but at the time I had like maybe like 4 to 6 writers working, writing, and they were, I don't know how many hours they were putting in, but they were producing, 1,000 words a day or something like that. So like the days they were working. So, right, if you do the math, that's a lot of articles per week. And then I had content editors. I go over this in the webinar, by the way. But anyway, the point is the length doesn't matter much. I could have had everyone writing 3,000 word articles. I would just either have more writers or ramp up the writers a little bit earlier and then, build up a queue of work for the content editors to take care of that, content managers and editors to take care of it. Sinfa says, you're planning on creating another Amazon affiliate site. You don't have to register another account for that, right? Correct. You pay for ClickFunnels already. Should I use that instead? I don't know. Are you using ClickFunnels for, that's pretty expensive, right? Like, I mean, you could put another site on your existing hosting account, but I think ClickFunnels would be an expensive way to do it. Sharonda says, did I just go back to the native WordPress editor when I gave up on Thrive? Yeah, generally. Yep. Okay. John says, have I experienced negative SEO? The answer is yes. I noticed, I've had it a couple times. I've noticed it on Ahrefs. You just see a bunch of links. And then on the Search Console, the Google Search Console, you could see links too, but on Ahrefs, you see like the spike of bad links coming your way. Brown Dog says, is there any kind of software or a faster way to put links from Amazon into the blog post? You manually copy and paste. I mean, that's what I do. People try and sell you tools that they say it makes it faster, but I don't find them to actually be faster because you still have to search and mess with the plugin. So I don't think it's particularly helpful. Copying and pasting seems fine. Aaron says, can I go more in depth on negative SEO? You basically throw out bad links at competitor sites. What's the best way to prevent negative SEO? Yeah, it's basically like, just over optimized anchor text a lot of times. And the best way to prevent it, you can't really prevent it, but you disavow the links. That's how you negate it. Tom is asking, what is Thrive? Why are we talking about it? Thrive is a theme company. I'm not particularly a fan of them. Success Roller Coaster says, you write all the articles yourself. How many words do I recommend per article? You stay between 700 and 1,000. It depends on the competition and the keyword and all that stuff. I mean, if you're doing 700 to 1,000, how's it going for you? Is it ranking well? Like, is it, if everything's fine, stick with it. If you think you could improve by making it longer, then make it longer. All right, what else do we have here? Cool, we still have 36 people on. Great. Yeah, Thrive came out a few years ago, and they had sort of like some pretty clean like themes oriented towards like conversions and marketing. They had a content builder. I got the content builder. It's good for sales pages, good for landing pages, even still. However, the usability of the tools and stuff, it's terrible. It's like I won't rehash too much. I did a couple of videos on this, but basically I was trying to like change the font on change the font and change the date on a particular sales page I had. And I couldn't do it. I spent like 2-3 hours on multiple days. Like it was my only task. I'm like, all right, I got to change it. And I just couldn't do it. Sounds stupid, right? Like what's wrong with me? I don't know. So I even like, I created a support ticket, tried to get help, and they like never answered it. So anyway, I'd stay away from Thrive. All right. Marcel says Amazon links. This is why I think just came out. You got an email, but you haven't tried it. The Amazon Link Builder WordPress plugin. Yep. I've heard that came out too. Yep. Tom says, what do I think of holiday, event, and season specific niche sites? Are they worth it? Yeah. I mean, I think if that's what you're into, you should go for it. For me, I'd prefer like a more evergreen type situation. But if you wanted, like if you saw a gap in the in the market and you could serve those markets better by coming up with the seasonal stuff, yeah, that'd be great. I'd as long as you know what to expect. But I mean, if it were me, I'd go for something that wasn't seasonal. Victor says it would be interesting to see a correlation between the keyword golden ratio and number of words to rank in the top 3. Yeah, that would be interesting too. Here's the hard part. You'd have to do an analysis on the competition and the links for the keywords, right? So somehow you would have to like equalize the competition to make the comparison. There's too many variables. That would be super interesting, but I think you'd have to be like a statistician to be able to do that. All right, Success Roller Coaster. Do you have any book recommendations? Nice. I do. I don't have too many of them right next to me. I do like I like The One Thing, Essentialism, Deep Work. The 2 books by Charles Duhigg, Power of Habit and Smarter, Faster, Better, and several more, but those are sort of ones that I've read recently, really enjoyed. And I may be able to, or I may want to just do like short-ish like book summaries on some of the books because I have quite a few. I have a few on my list that I want to read. One's Mastery. I actually bought that a few weeks back, but I haven't had time to get into it. There's another one. It's like Back of the Napkin. I think that's what it's called. It's about just drawing like simple, like diagrams, little cartoons almost to like simplify processes. And I think that would be great, especially doing these like videos and webinars and stuff like that, to just have like my little hand drawn like cartoon just to like illustrate a point. But yeah, any of those books are pretty solid. So Rob, yeah, good to have you on. It'll be great to have you in the course. And Duke is using the Amazon Link Builder plugin. Cool. I may need to check into that. Victor says there's some traction on the internet about an upcoming Google algorithm update. Have I heard anything? No. I think that's like I think there's always an upcoming one, and there's always grumblings about an upcoming algorithm update. Brown Dog says you recently wrote a post on the Republican back tax bill on the disabled. How do I submit it to Google without waiting on the Google bot to crawl? It's a hot topic. I have a whole video on how to like get your site indexed, how to get your page indexed in like 30 seconds or whatever. Let me see if I can find. Let's see if I can find it here. Wow, I'm not ranking very well on that at all. Oh, there it is. And dog. There you go. There's the link. And cool. All right. So I see a few more questions through here. Okay. So Duke is mentioning some stuff about the Amazon plugin for associates. If you want prices, those are good. If you want to use images or product links, then not really. The product link shows the entire product title. So it's not ideal. Do I invest in Bitcoin? No. And Duke also says they have a couple templates for that Amazon Associate plugin. So that may be useful. All right. So what else do we have here? What else do we have going on? Any more questions here? Any more questions? All right. Don't forget, check out the link in the description. Be sure you're signed up for the upcoming webinars. You just enter your email address, and then you can auto subscribe so you can get informed about the other webinars that I'm doing. There's a series of them. The one on scaling is in a few weeks, but I'm doing others that are more, more niche site stuff, more authority site stuff. All right. Okay. Paulia says, what other income streams do I have besides niche sites? What part of your income comes from niche sites? So I have a few other areas. I do have a course, right? So I have a course that I talk about, and I don't really like. Someone asked me before if I was a millionaire. I really don't talk about specifics very much. I'll show you, like I showed you, like I am making money from Amazon, but I don't really. Yeah, it's fine. You ask straightforward questions. I just won't answer it, but thanks for asking. Leo, good to have you on. Yeah, we are wrapping it up. Um, So it basically, I make a full-time income from niche sites. So do I have other income streams? Yes. Um, but make a full-time income from Amazon. All right. Charles is asking, when will I do the teardowns with Alex? I'm not sure. He sent one over. So I'm I'm gonna do more teardowns probably for my channel anyway. Um, but I like working with Alex, of course, and you know, people like the reviews. So the thing is, Alex has reviewed individual sites like from his audience. And I think that's a big mistake. It's again the negative SEO thing. Like if we're reviewing someone's site, I'm gonna want to know traffic, I'm gonna want to know revenue to share with the viewers, right? And if you start reviewing that stuff, people are going to copy your site. People may do negative SEO. There's just like no good scenario of sharing a site publicly. So I'm sort of going back and forth with Alex to figure out what we should do here. I typically, if I'm doing a teardown, it is like a huge site, like a corporate, like an owned, corporate owned site or some media company, right? Like the Wirecutter. Or it is a niche site, which has already been reviewed on another site, right? Or a public case study. So I'll do those types of things. So anyway, I'm going back and forth with Alex to figure out the right solution here because I don't think it's a good idea for the person to share their site like that. Because like that, probably over 1,000 people will see it and watch it, and that's not great for someone. All right, Sinfis has one more question. If you're starting a new site, how many articles should you post? Do 50% information and 50% reviews. You only need about 10. All right. Everybody have a good holiday season here. If you celebrate Christmas or any other stuff, enjoy it. Enjoy time with your family. I'm going to get some rest, hopefully. Actually, I'm going to go shovel snow. I think it's snowed another couple inches since I've been in here. A lot of snow coming down. So, all right, cool. Everybody, we'll see you next time. Thanks.